He's a father, a brother and icon to those that know him. A man that has the gift of advice to those that respect what he says. A man that will not sugarcoat anything. You can agree or disagree, but he is just someone who gives out great advice. Let's Talk About It is the name of the show. Here is your host, the icon.
Yes, how's everybody doing there today? Y'all doing alright? I like this track. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Checking my messages for the show. Wow, that's a good melody, and it's a good groove. High Valley. It's the name of the track by Gregory David. I'm feeling that one right there, y'all. I like that. All right, let's get started, shall we? That's enough grooving. I want to welcome you out to the show. I am the icon. The show is called Let's Talk About It. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend or a good week or whatever you're having. Hopefully there's nothing but positive vibe just flowing through you right now. Yes. In any event, oh yeah. So, here we are. I have a unusual type of letter that we are going to do today. Oh, yes. I forgot I need to go live on someplace else. But in any event, so we have, I guess, what we call a letter that's unusual. And what I mean by unusual, it is just for, well, I guess this particular gentleman is feeling kind of guilty about his life choices and I guess for what he's done or what he said he did. Hang on. Oh, for the love of God. Jesus. In any event, we are going to discuss a letter from a gentleman who I guess is feeling kind of guilty about his role in about his life choices and his life decisions. I guess he's kind of feeling remorseful about what he has perceived as to be racism in his heart. And that's okay. That's okay. We can deal with that. I can deal with that. So this letter is going to come from a Mr. Jacob. He is from South Carolina, and I guess he's just kind of feeling remorseful about the way he's been treating, I guess, people of the opposite race. I wouldn't assume that he is a white man. And I guess he's just feeling guilty about some things. Now, I know that sometimes in life that we all kind of have like racist ways or racist tendencies, so to speak. I mean, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're necessarily racist. I mean, it just can mean that you can just disagree with somebody or something about what somebody has done. And I know that sometimes that when we get into a situation where we see like white and black and we're often pit against each other, but that doesn't necessarily mean that makes us racist, because as we've seen in recent times is that more times than most that the white folks or other races kind of stand united with the black race or other cultures because they're sick and tired of just the racist ways or the racist things that's going on in this world today. And I can agree with that. So I think this letter is just him kind of away, kind of just getting some frustrations out, and as well as trying to somewhat make things right within himself and his family, particularly his daughters. So this is a very long letter, so we're just going to get right into it, and we're going to see how we get it done. All right, so this letter is entitled, Who I Hate the Most. Hello, Mr. Icon. My name is Jacob. I'm doing this to bring aware of my stupidity and also my humility. I hope by doing this, I don't want any hate or backlash from, but then again, I probably deserve it. As I said before, my name is Jacob, and I'm from South Carolina. I must admit, Icon, I've always been a great person when it comes to other races, but I have a story to share with you, and I hope that you'll take some kind of pity on me because, again, I have completely changed the way I think about people of different races. So here it goes. I'm 52 years old. I have 4 beautiful daughters who are my world. Needless to say that I'm doing this for them, and I want to apologize for everything that I've done in my past, in spite of knowing what's right and what's wrong, but I still choose to go in the opposite direction. I try to be a good father, but at one point I failed my daughters in a way that I thought could really hurt my relationship with them. But I have since explained myself, and I'm seeing everything a lot better than before. So Icon, I was something of a believer that there shouldn't be any race mixing. I tried everything in my power to make sure that my girls stay true to themselves and their race. And yes, I know what you're thinking, that I'm racist. But the truth of the matter is, in a way, I was kind of, but I know that you're a black man and that this is the reason I wanted to send this email. I honestly wanted to call into your show, but I was just a bit scared and nervous because I didn't want to be judged by your listeners. I'm sorry for getting off topic, but I was a firm believer in that, and that was partly due to the way I was raised. When I was younger, I've gotten older, but when I was younger, as I've gotten older, thanks to my daughters, I've seen the error of my ways, and it wasn't easy. I have myself to blame for that 100%, and it was really heightened when Trump took office because of my racist meter went off the charts, believing everything that he said was true, and not only did it turn my back on my family, but I refused to believe that the white race is the problem of the world. But damn, was I wrong. Icon. Everything I was taught was a lie. And though I'm not ashamed to admit it, I'm just ashamed that white people have taken and been taken from people that were here and have been laying claim to something that is or wasn't never theirs. But I'm sorry, because I'm just mad at myself believing for such things that I knew deep down. I knew the truth and was always there. When Trump took office, I knew that the white race would be safe because I was going to be protected. He was going to protect our legacy and keep this country safe from evil that was black and immigrants. Icon, I'm not proud of saying this because I was wrong. You see, my daughters had stopped telling me had stopped talking to me after they found out that I endorsed Trump. And for the first time he became president, I admit, I was hard to deal with. But I believed everything he said and that he was right about everything. So I knew that they would eventually come around to see it my way. Mr. Icon, was I wrong? I voted for him a third time. I think my daughters have had enough of him. My youngest, though she agreed with what I did, she told me that she loved me and that I would never choose to follow someone because of their race. I would like you to know the candidate and what they believe in. I would like to know the candidate and what they believe and stand for. And as she said that if I wanted to see her in the future, you must put your family first above any politics, and I apologized and broke down in tears. Because she also shared with me that she's dating a man of a different race, an Icon. He's a great man, a really great man. I met him for the first time. I haven't spoken to any of my daughters, but their mother was always the one that maintained contact with him. Though I'm not surprised, because as you said, women are the backbone of the family, and without them, I wouldn't even have been here. I have been so blinded by the president and his hatred for this country that I would have followed this idiot to hell and probably would have burned for eternity for it. But I've lost friends, and most of all lost family because of a man that doesn't really value me as an American or see you or my everyday struggle. Because I was a devoted Republican, and I was proud for what I was doing. But now I see the shit show for what it really is, and that's just that. These people that I thought were bad are not even close to what I've seen happening on January 6th. Those dumbasses got pardoned for it. So while I thought the ones that were causing the most trouble were the black and brown people, however, that's never the case. I've always tried to find fault within their race except the white race. But I understand now, Icon, what I have done and what I have played a part of. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm simply going to keep God first, then family, then my life. So as I said before, my daughters have really opened my eyes in what it means to feel love, because love doesn't have a color. It's just how you open up your heart to any and everybody. Though what I thought I was doing for my family was right, but they have shown me a better way. So much better that I'm just so happy for the beautiful women that they have become and the men that they have found. Icon, all my daughters have found good men. They are of different races. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so glad that they found their own way in life instead of being brainwashed by me. But I'm just so sorry because of the way I thought I wanted to. I'm just so sorry because I thought I wanted this world to be, but I understand that the world is changing for the better. Not only am I excited for the future, but now I won't allow any politics in my family. And I hope that this guy in the People's House will soon be evicted. Yeah, you and me both. So I hope in the midterms are going to be good for America, because most of all, for the future of all people in this country. So that is what Mr. Jacob was, this kind of confession, because he said that, as well as most people follow Trump. Now, listen, I'm not a political guy. I'm really not. I don't do politics. I just think it's messy. It's neither side never wins. There is some good that comes out of politics. It's just not my thing. I'm a firm believer that if I need to get something done, I'm going to get it done. Will it affect me in the long run? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. But politics can put a strain and even damage families' relationship because it often becomes much more about than just policy. It can touch identity, values, trust, and even belonging. So when someone criticizes a politician's position, it can feel like they're criticizing the person themselves rather than just disagreeing with the idea. So we understand how that goes. So this guy was a diehard Republican. He's a diehard Trump supporter, or he may not be now. And that's the thing that we see in this day and age. We see a lot of people that are changing because of what's happening in the White House. Now, this letter isn't about politics. It's about one man who changed his mind because of the sake of his girls and the sake of his family. And you have people like that would rather follow this guy Trump to hell and they'll burn for it rather than just putting their family first and just saying, hey, we're not going to do this. Now, I know that this world is on fire because of the U.S., and I understand that. And the U.S. is represented by one lame-ass idiot who nobody seems to like. I don't wish no kind of death on him. I don't wish him to die. I just wish they impeach him and throw his ass in the jail or throw him up under the jail because it's not my way. Killing somebody is not going to do me a damn bit of good. I don't wish death upon nobody because I don't want nobody to wish death upon me. Do I think the U.S. has issues? I do. Do I think they're caused by the people? I don't. Do I think they're caused by one man and his regime? I do. So, Mr. Jacob, I appreciate you writing this letter. We're going to try to get into how you can be a better father to your girls, and that you said you have 4 beautiful girls. I'm assuming they're all grown. You didn't really give their age, but you said you're 52. But hey, and again, never know. But you said all your daughters are dating men of the opposite race, and that's the problem. The problem is that when they see a white woman with a man of an opposite race, it's automatically gone back to the days of thinking, well, we shouldn't be race mixing. Like he said, and like I said, love doesn't have a color. So if you're happy with that person, be happy. It's a shame that we have to be looked down upon because of who we choose and who we want to be with. And it should never be that way. If anything, when you go outside your race, it's for love and it's for a lot of variety of other things. Not only did you find this person that you're in love with, but you connect with this person on so many levels. You connect with this person on so many different ideas. Because why? Your backgrounds are different. And as we see in today's world, or today's society, there's a lot of race mixing in this country. A lot of it. This started way back, way before it got even bigger. I know back in the day, race mixing was not a huge thing. And if you were dating a black woman, then you were often looked down upon. You were often talked about. You were often kind of just, it was just not a good look. Because they think that you're turning your back on your race. Now, as I said before, it doesn't really kind of hit home for me, but I've also had my share of, dating white women, and, there were members of my family who didn't like it. They said I was a jungle bunny or had jungle fever, and that it's always good to be with your own race. Well, and that may be the case. I'm not knocking that. But for me, I think that being with somebody, I see them for more than who they are. I just don't see the color of their skin. I see what's on the inside instead of the outside. Now, yes, we can sit here and go all day back and forth and say, yeah, well, this race makes me much more happy than my race. And I can say that every day, all day. And then I know I got a lot of criticism from my podcast in the past for saying, well, how come you don't date American women? I don't date American women because I just haven't found that American woman. But when I went to the Philippines, I found that woman. I found that particular woman that made me happy. And it's not to say that there's not a good woman in the United States. It's just that it's like finding a needle in a haystack, But that's just my preference. That's just who I am, And I'm not saying that that's bad for me, but of course I'm going to get some flack about it. Now, and it's like that in all the other countries, because Indians or India or Pakistani or whatever, they believe in keeping everything in-house. They think that you should stick with your own race and not date outside your race. Now, if you come to this country and you find love or of a different race and not somebody of the same race as you, then it's a problem for them. It's a problem. And I don't know why it's like that. But I'm going to try to stay back on top of here because I'm getting off topic, but I understand what he's saying. So, but for Mr. Jacob, he is so, and I think there's a lot of people that share the sentiment with him that, when Trump got in office, that he's going to take back the white race, put the white race on top. Listen, let me explain something to you guys. The white race has never been on top, okay? There's no race that's superior to others. Again, they are operating on stolen land. So it's not like this land was founded by a white man. America was discovered by, they say, Christopher Columbus. But let's not forget who was here before Christopher Columbus. It was the immigrants or the indigenous peoples. So it's what it is. But I'm not going to get all into that. But I'm just going to try to keep it on topic. So I think that Mr. Jacob has had an epiphany. I think that when you come to the realization of losing your family over one man that doesn't give a damn about you, then you have to make changes within your life. You have to start doing things different within your life. You have to start changing things, because at the end of the day, it's either going to be you and him or nobody at all. And let's be clear, and let's be real honest. And I've read letters before in the past or on my show talk about how families just have been divided by this one guy. This one guy is not a God. He's not a God. He is a man, just like you, just like me. He is a man. I don't know why people feel the need. They want to bend the knee to this man, because he's nobody. He's just a guy that enriched himself, enriched his family, and that he is clearly making money off the taxpayers. So, Jacob, I want to keep wanting to say Paul for some reason. Hang on, I gotta get some of my tea, y'all. Y'all know I need my tea. Oh, that's good tea. But I think that a lot of people don't understand that when you choose somebody, you're supposed to choose the candidate over his qualifications. Now, Trump didn't have any qualifications. He never had any qualifications. He's bankrupted 4 casinos. He's had multiple affairs on his wife. And for the life of me, I can't understand why people would want to follow such a guy. Now, why you want to follow a guy like that, I have no idea. Because clearly it seems like the other candidate was a lot better. So, and again, I'm not trying to really play politics right here, but, I gotta, entertain some things about it. So, it's what it is. But when you stand behind a guy that you know has done wrong to people and continues to do wrong in front of the people's eye, what more do you have to left? What more do you have? So Mr. Jake was on the verge of losing his family, and he quickly came to an epiphany because his youngest daughter told him that if you don't change your ways, you're going to lose us forever. And that's the sad thing about it, because there's a lot of families right now to this very day that are still torn up about, Trump and their family. Because, you have families saying that he's done right for this country, but what has he done that's right? Listen, I would have took any other Republican but this guy Trump. If you have been accused and been judged by juries of your peers of raping a woman, or if you are in the Epstein files more than God himself is in the Bible, clearly there's a red flag. I keep telling people, I would challenge you guys to do your homework. I know that we see what's on social media, but that's the thing about social media today. Back in our day, we would do research in libraries, or we would read up on it, because that's what the facts were. That's what they were. Instead of us turning on, Facebook, IG, TikTok, or whatever. Well, hold on. TikTok is pretty solid to me, because they do get a lot of good information, and they get information before the media gets it. That's what I'm talking about. Jesus. But if in fact that you get your information from just by one man just saying it, it's not true. Because let's be clear and honest about something. When this guy says something, everybody just automatically assumes he's true. Again, he's not God. He's not God. I would challenge any and everybody to do their homework, do their due diligence, do their reading, fact check this guy. Because just like Mr. Jacob is trying to put the pieces or his family back together, you should be doing the same thing. Don't let one man ruin your family. God created our skin tones with beautiful variety, and all of our souls are all the same color. So if you've hurt other people in order to feel powerful, then you're extremely weak individual. And that's what this guy is doing. That's what he's doing. I mean, I don't understand it. But Mr. Jacob, I'm glad that you wrote to the show, because this letter is something different for the show. And I don't think that you're a racist. I just think that you just chose the wrong side, but you're trying to make up for it, and you're trying to do what's right by your family. Continue to keep doing that, because that's the kind of people that we need. And we see people every day on social media, living with regret, or saying that we should have never voted for this guy, or this guy is not good for America. Yes, we all knew that. But there's a lot of people that's having voters remorse now than they were back when he first got into office. And why? Because he's made it a lot worse. He's enriched himself. He's taking bribes from other countries. He's just doing things that are just not ethically of the president, or morally of the president. I don't want to say ethically, but whatever. So I think that what he's doing is just not right, because we've never seen this level of stupidity from an administration. Yes, I'm calling it stupidity because that's exactly what it is. But Mr. Jacob, I applaud you, and I hope that you're able to reach more people, or to maybe get those friends back that you have lost. But most of all, your family is the one who you need to be apologizing to. And it sounds like you've been doing just that, because you've made it an issue to say, hey, we don't discuss politics in this house. And that's good. I mean, it's good to discuss politics if it's if it's kind of neutral, and it's not going to bring a kind of disagreement towards the family. If you want to say what this guy's doing, what that guy's doing, but it's not going to lead to a big blow up. We've seen family members take family members' lives over this guy, and that's just sad. But getting back to your family is just mostly the important thing. So I think that, hold on, music getting too loud there. I think that when people look at us, and our family looks at us, and we know that we did wrong to them, how do we live with that? How do we kind of come back from that? Well, you do what Mr. Jacob's doing. You sit down, you have a talk with your family. You talk to your family, you say, yes, I know what I did was wrong, but this is the reason why I did it. Is the reason going to be justified? Probably not, because your girls are going to ultimately have questions. It sounds like you got a pretty good, strong family. Your wife, who is clearly holding the family together, and then you have 4 beautiful, talented daughters who are also smart, and you said that you did not want them to be brainwashed by you. So clearly you've done something right, because you've empowered these women to stay focused on the task at hand, and by focusing on themselves and focusing on their lives, and you're not pushing your agenda onto them, as we see some parents do. So that's a good thing. I mean, when you have that kind of, I don't want to say tenacity, but that kind of, I'll say, well, that kind of willpower. And that's a good thing because you raised 4 beautiful women, you and your wife. So kudos to you, my friend. Give yourself a hand. This is not going to be a podcast where I bash you and tell you what you did wrong. I can point out to what you did wrong, but you're ultimately, in the end, you're trying to make it right. And when I say you're making it right, you're doing the first step by putting your family first above anything, because family is all that matters. Now, I know that some people will say, well, my family doesn't matter. All your families matter. And if you have a disagreement with your family member, whatever the situation may be, just try to talk to them. I don't care what it is, because as I sit here and talk to you, we are all not promised tomorrow. We're not. It's like we're on borrowed time. So wouldn't you rather make up with your family and tell that person that you love them rather than just going off and just dying and not knowing? I mean, I know I would. So, and this is why I say I live my life every day in the positive, because there's no reason to be negative. And if you're negative so much to a point to that you wake up every day negative, well, negative things are going to continue to happen. If you're mad at somebody or something such as small as something in your family, get over it. Be the bigger person. If you're mad because somebody in your family voted for Trump, get over it. Talk to them. If you can't reason with them, let them go. Not let them go as in just let the conversation go. Because around holidays, there's a lot of joy, a lot of times, and Thanksgiving is one of them, because around Thanksgiving, we want to give thanks to the people and the big Lord above for putting us on this earth and for allowing us to see another Thanksgiving. I know I do. So what I'm saying is that if you're somebody that's going through what Mr. Jacob is going through, put all that shit on hold, get your family back together. Because just like this man has gotten his family back together, you can surely get your family back together. It's not going to be easy. It may be hard at times, but this is what you got to do. If you value your family that much, and if you love your family that much, should nothing or nobody, no man come between you and your, nothing or nobody should come between your family. I want to say man because it's just one guy. But in this case, this guy just makes it all about him. So I understand that who you hate the most would be you, but there's no need to hate yourself. Don't get in self-pity. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, figure out how you can make things right with your family. You're doing everything you can possibly right now to make it right. Continue to do that. If you say there's no politics allowed in your house or at the table, leave it at that. If you got rid of all your Trump propaganda, which I'm hoping you did, or maybe you, which I'm sure hopefully you did, but get rid of it, because it's not going to make any sense to hang on to something that's just going to be a bad memory for your family. And what I mean by a bad memory, it's like it's a bad taste in your mouth that you just can't get rid of, that you're trying to get rid of, so you just keep putting that bad taste in your mouth. And let's be honest, is it worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth it. So, as I said, conversations become about winning instead of understanding. Once people feel that they have to defend their side, they may stop listening and start arguing. That often leads to everybody feeling unheard. And we can all see that right now. I mean, just take a look at the guy in the White House. So, focus on listening. Set boundaries around how politics are discussed. Avoid personal attacks and assumptions about motives. Remember that there are relationships that are far more important than winning an argument. And in that case, Mr. Jacob, and I think that's what he's doing. Again, I just want to applaud you, man, because I really haven't had a letter like this before. But I can't really say that there's nothing negative about what he said in this letter. Now, as I said before, I know his when Trump got reelected, his meter went off the charts, and he just thought he was going to be out there doing like, oh my God, yeah, he's back in office, and we're going to get this, we're going to get that, we're going to get this. No, what we have right now is a big ass headache. A big ass headache. I mean, he's turning people against people. I mean, we can't even get anything done. Now he's gotten America in a war that I'm not even sure how most of y'all feel about that, but I don't like it. I think that if you are a person that likes chaos, and if you agree with what he's doing, then maybe you should go sign up and go fight his war. I'm not going to fight no war because these people ain't done nothing to me. And I think it would be more to say that, what are we fighting for? I think America would be better off if we just stayed in America's business. Now, yes, do we want to help the world? Of course we want to help the world. But doing what this man did is just reprehensible. So that's why I think Mr. Jacob has also sent me this letter, because I think he's had enough. I think he's probably through. I'm not sure how this has affected him in his way of life or his financial stability, but it's affected a lot of people differently. We had people that were in the highest of highest government offices that were just let go for no reason. And I know that, Mr. Jacob, that you're kind of feeling that because I don't know if there was some kind of racial injustice with your daughter's boyfriends or whatever, but if you say they're really nice young men, I encourage you to sit down and talk to them. The thing is that we have to understand is that if we date outside our race, it's not because we are, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not because we want to. It's because we're really attracted or drawn to that person. We love that person. And along with coming to love that person is learning that you get to experience a whole different life rather than experiencing your life. I'm not saying your life is boring. I'm just saying when you experience another relationship in a different culture, that kind of puts things into perspective, as well it did Mr. Jacob. I don't want to call this guy Paul. I mean, his name is right there on the damn letter. It says Jacob. Oh, it's good tea. That is good tea. I love it. But fear and ignorance are the key roots to racism. Now, if you have hate in your heart, or if you feel a certain way about another race, why not just sit down and get to know that race? Because not everybody is the same. Not all white people are the same. Not all black people are the same. Not all Asian people are the same. And I think in this world, and I think that in this world that Mr. Jacob is experiencing that because his daughters are dating men of different races, So I think that Mr. Jacob is doing, what I think Mr. Jacob is doing is, it's admirable. It's good, because I'm not sure what this guy is, what the races are of his of his daughter's boyfriends, but I'm sure he's taking the time to get to learn and get to know them. And that's a good thing, because like I said, and I know there's some of us out there who wouldn't want to date another race, and that's fine. That's fine. Because I know there's people out here that like to get to know like different races or ethnicities or whatever, and that's not a problem. So you don't really have to assume that just because you don't want to date another race that you're automatically racist, because that's not the way it is. Black people like being with black people, white people like being with white people, Latinos like being with Latinos, or Asians like being, Asian. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, yeah, they are. What I'm saying is that I'm just gonna say I'm assuming that he's a white man. That all four of his daughters are dating like different races or guys of different races. So again, yeah, I know you do, but I'm just saying, in order for you to let's put this in a good term. In order for you to I don't know. Let's just say it like this, because I see this as Mr. Jacob is just taking the time to understand what he has been doing. And he didn't really say what he did wrong. He just said that I don't really think he said he called himself a racist. I just think he says he just knew what right and what was wrong. And that you may be from South Carolina, but it doesn't mean everybody in South Carolina is racist. I don't think so. So, like I said, I'm not sure what kind of backlash you would get from this, because there's no backlash here. You have been a good father up until the point, but you said you've also hurted your daughters. So, but I don't think you really hurt them. I just think you showed them a different side of you that they didn't think that they were going to see. And, Lord have mercy, that they were going to see. So when they say, when you show them that side, because I'm pretty sure that when this whole conversation came out, oh, I voted for Trump, then your daughters are probably like, well, how could you? Because let me say something. I think what probably sparked this the most, that when you told them that you voted for Trump, is that the fact that this man has been in the Epstein files more than Jesus is in the Bible, or God is in the Bible. And I think that's probably what hit a nerve with your daughters. And it probably struck a nerve with them, because this man was friends with a huge pedophile. Now, do we know if he's in the Epstein file? Yeah, we know that. We don't know what he did. And I mean, I can pretty much guess what he did, because I don't think any man would talk about his daughters the way Trump has talked about his daughter. And that's just disgusting. Because I have daughters, and I would never make that kind of assumption to say, well, if she wasn't my daughter, I would date her. I would never say no shit like that, because that's disgusting. That's sick. That's horrible. So, do I have beautiful daughters? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. But I would never talk about my daughters in a way that this president has talked about his daughter, ever. And the fact that he faced favoritism towards this one is just ridiculous. And it kind of raises a lot of questions. So, like Mr. Jacob, you have 4 daughters. You said your daughters are smart, they're talented, they're very beautiful. That's what it is. So I think when you told your daughters that you voted for this guy, and then they were probably in like, oh my God, I can't believe Dad has done this. Because it's like you're voting for a pedophile and you want him to get away with any and everything that he can get away with. So I think that's what probably struck a nerve. Now, again, what I think that you're doing for your family is very admirable. And I think what you're doing is the right thing for them, because you want to put your family back on track. You want to put your family back into perspective, when you want to let your family know that they are number one versus anybody else. Because you said your daughters are the world. My daughters are always my world, but never would I ever bring myself to vote for a guy who was a 34 count felon, who made payments, or gave hush money to a porn star, or was cheating on his wife while his wife was giving birth to their son. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. And the sad thing is that the whole world knows it. The whole world knows it, and they're not going to let him live it down on it, which is surprisingly, because you even have politicians that's trying to release these files and get these files out there, but this man will not release them. So, Mr. Jacob, I hope from this point on that you consider that, and I'm not sure what you're doing to trying to better yourself, or trying to not really prove yourself to your daughters, but I'm not sure what you're doing, but don't go overboard with it. If you want to get involved with the culture, just, continue to do you, maybe ask for some pointers, or maybe do some things differently. I'm not sure what you can do differently. I mean, I don't really know. So if you want to do things differently in your family, I challenge you to do things differently. If your daughters are dating men of different races, I challenge you to sit down with their family, talk to their family, and find out how you can not really help them, but just how you can be a better father-in-law, or a better, well, I'm going to say father-in-law because I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get married sometime soon, but how you can be a better father to your daughters, and then be a better role model to those grandkids, which I'm sure you might, well, I don't think you have those no time soon, but whatever. It is what it is. So, while I challenge you to stay strong, continue to keep your head up, and and just continue to do you, because it's all good, Mr. Jacob. It's all good. It's not our differences that divide us. It's our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. So racism is going to be around probably till I'm long gone, or it's just something we can't get over. But the way you defeat racism is that you just don't buy into it. You know, because I see people online that's trying to goat other races or whatever, like this. I'm not even going to mention his name because I'm not giving no credit to him and whatever. But you guys pretty much probably already know what I'm talking about. So I think that if you're white and you're in fear of losing, if you think you're in fear of losing the white race, well, let's be real clear about something. You don't own the white race, just like I don't own black people. And we are all somewhat similar to the same color, but we don't all come from the same place. I mean, I was born in Kansas City, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. So, oh boy, I can't wait to get this girl on here. Anyways, so I understand that we want to ensure that our race is going to be the race that survives, but we don't know who's going to survive, because when that time comes, we just don't know. So let's just continue to be good to one another. Let's just continue to do right by each other. Let's continue to, to call people out for what it is. And if you see racism, if you experience racism, me personally, like I said before, I've been threatened to be hanged by a member of the KKK down in Mobile, Alabama. Did that deter me from did that want to make me hate white people? No. Because one person's not responsible for the whole damn race. So when I was threatened to be hanged by a member of the KKK, he was he claimed he was a grand wizard, but, I don't know how true that was, but whatever. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but I don't really give a shit. He threatened me, threatened my family, but again, that does not make me want to hate every white person I see, because not every white person you see is a member of the KKK. Real talk. So I've been hit with racism, Lord knows how many times throughout my whole entire, maybe my work life, or just throughout. And it just doesn't bother me. It doesn't. The way I find people, if they're racist, I kill them with kindness. You can say whatever you want to say to me. I'm not going to get down to your level. I'm not going to stoop down to your level. Because what's the point of that? If you touch me, if you come from my family, then we have a problem, as I said before. So, we as people need to come together. We need to come together. We need to stay focused on the task at hand. Because when there's more love than hate in this world, then we can survive anything. Because racism isn't born, it's taught. So when it's taught, it makes it even a lot more difficult, because as I said before, when you have people like that, that's taught, but when they get older, then they kind of change their tune, like, oh my God, yeah, I was lied to. Like Mr. Jacob said, he was lied to. When racism, when he said white folks clearly take things from other cultures, try to make it their own, he wasn't lying. Because that's what some of these people do. And the crazy thing is that the white folks are starting to realize that. And it's like, well, we've been taught a whole lie in our whole damn life. Yeah, you have. You have. Because without other races enriching this country, I'm not sure where white folks would be right now. I don't know what y'all would be doing right now. Because I feel like in every aspect of your life, it's been enriched by some other culture. It's been enriched. You've been... lost my train of thought. You've just been enriched by other cultures. I mean, truth be told, other cultures bring an exceptional amount of variety of things to this country. So while we're all thinking like one person, like we thought that this white guy invented, the traffic light. No, that was invented by a black man. Refrigerators, the internet, all this other stuff. So, right. So that is what I'm simply trying to say. So hopefully, Mr. Jacob, this podcast finds you in a good way. Hopefully that everything that I have said to you, put some kind of truth behind it. You know, if you want to listen, people, if you want to call into the show, feel free to call into the show. If not, it's all good. I know that there are some people who email me and say that I really want to talk to you, but then I don't want the backlash. But nobody really has to know who you are. I mean, but if you want to keep emailing me, that's fine. I'm good with that too. So, as we get ready to close the show out, you know, I want to give Mr. Jacob a round of applause because he's doing something that some people would do or some people wouldn't want to do. So, in fact, the fact that he is just trying to put his family back on the right track, which is kudos to him. Because there's not a lot of that now, because you still have some families that are fighting within themselves about this one guy who's not going to do a damn thing for him. Not going to do nothing for him. This guy is he's like a very bad distant relative that you just don't want to see. You just want to keep him away, far away, and just send him a card or something around the holidays. And that's the one relative you don't want to invite to Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. So, if you're tired of hearing about racism, imagine how tired of people that are experiencing it. So, racism is not about how you look, it's about how people assign meaning to how you look. Do what you will with that, but all I'm going to say is that I want to say thank you to my listeners. Thank you to the letters of support. Keep them coming because I'm going to keep doing this thing. And as I said before, episodes are uploaded every Wednesday, except for the ones who get to see it now. But it's all good. So as I get ready to close the show out, I just want to say thank you. You know, I think with the vast majority of people that in this world, we can overcome hate by far more. There are strength in numbers because I think there's more love than hate in this world. And every day I wake up, I thank God that every day above ground is a blessing because I get to see my family and my kids. Yes, thanks to you. But every day is a good day because I get to see my family, I get to see life, and I just get to breathe this beautiful fresh air. And I don't always agree with what's going on with the world, but again, I can choose not to hear it. I can just choose to continue to go on doing what I'm doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So, I'm going to continue to be me, you continue to be you. And again, I say, if you are struggling or beefing with somebody in your family due to any and everything, change the tune on it. Maybe go to them. Say, hey, let's talk. And I mean talk, not yell. Because if you continue to yell and you continue to try to overtalk each other, you're never going to get anywhere with that. So what I can simply say is just that this. Be you. Continue to stay who you are. Stay focused. Stay humble. Stay at peace. Don't wake up every day negative. Because again, we are all on borrowed time. And we never know when that time is coming. We just never know. So, until next time, my friends, take care of yourself and each other. And until next time, I will see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care now.
been listening to Icon with Let's Talk About It. Please follow me on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for spending time with me today. Always remember, I can't control life, but I can control how I react to it. Stay sharp, and I'll see you soon.